Okay, so this is gonna be a stretching routine that eventually, the more that you do it, you're gonna just memorize it. But for now, follow along. Coach Luna is gonna help us out, and we'll see how much you can see with my phone setup. But I'm gonna talk you through the whole thing too. So we're gonna start lying it down on our back. You gotta lie down. She's like, no. So you're gonna lie down on your back. You can see pretty well. Okay. Inhale your arms, stretch tall up over your body. Full body stretch, extend through the hands, extend through the feet, and then exhale, bring one knee to your chest. It's gonna be a little hard because I'm right next to the door. But hug that knee in as far as you can. Start to point and flex your toes, your foot, maybe some circles depending on how your ankles feel with the ankle flexion, whatever you have going on. All right, and now we're gonna send that leg straight, tall, and you can grab like a yoga strap or a shirt or a towel, loop it around your foot and pull it in if you need to. You can grab behind your thigh, and you can grab up tall on your shin and your calves. Start to do a little flex, bring the toes to the face. You'll feel it really engage here. Breathe. Inhale, and on an exhale, bring it a little bit closer to your face. Bring it in a little bit. See, my knee's a little bit bent here. That's okay. It will straighten out over time. Did deadlifts this morning, so my hamstrings are tight. All right, and then send that down, but we're not gonna send it long to the ground. We're actually gonna twist. So we're gonna bring it up over our body. I'm gonna run into the wall here. Hi, Luna. You're gonna try to bring this down all the way down to the ground. Let's see. But try to keep that shoulder on top down as well. So it's okay if your knee doesn't touch the ground. We're just getting a spinal twist. It's all about twisting and engaging here. Is you can look over that opposite shoulder and just breathe and start to feel it release through your glutes down into your legs, maybe a little bit in your core, your lower back. The longer we hold this, the more it's gonna release, and you can just melt into it. So you can pause the video here if you would like and really sit in it, or we're gonna bring that leg back on up and we're gonna go into a figure four stretch. So you're gonna take that ankle over, bring it in, and you can grab onto the back of your thigh. You can grab onto your shin, wherever you are in your flexibility. And if you want to take that other hand and press that knee out, you can. But then just pull your foot in towards you so you can feel that in your glute. Oh, I need that stretch. All right, and then send your leg long. We're gonna do the same thing now on the other side. It's the same thing. Hug your knee into your chest. All right, and then we're gonna send it straight on up. Now, one hamstring might be tighter than the other. One leg might be tighter than the other in general. There are so many factors that go into why it's like that. You can point and flex your foot here if you would like. Flex and feel that engagement all the way through and down to the hamstring. It can do it with your level of activity. It can do with if you stand on one leg, you put the weight down on one leg more than the other. Bring it a little bit closer to your face. It can also do with like what your dominant side is. Sometimes if you're right-handed, your left side's gonna be tighter than your right because you're using your right side more often. You're like, does that make sense? It does. It's just weird. All right, send that down, and we're gonna bring it across the body into a twist on the other side. Sometimes you might get a little back crack too, and that's really fun. I like when I get those. No back cracks for me today. That's okay, it means I probably didn't need them. Coach Luna is being demanding. She wants attention. That's okay. All right, we're gonna send that back up. We're gonna do that figure four stretch. Now this is like a bit of a longer stretch sequence. which is okay. I would rather you stretch for a longer amount of time, but if you can only get like 1 or 2 of these stretches done a day, that's fine. I would like you to start with going through this whole sequence once a day, honestly. We should be stretching every single day. This kind of stretching, this is more static stretching, so it's easier to do at the end of the day because you can just roll into bed after this, or at the end of a workout. Very good to do. I'm gonna pull this in a little bit more. This glute feels way tighter than my other side. And just breathe. Make sure you're breathing. That's so important, especially with these stretches, because you could get lightheaded if you're tensing, and that just doesn't feel good. All right, we're gonna send both legs into a little hug. Be a little bug, be a little ball. And then we're gonna rock it back and forth. I like to send my legs up. You can stay in a ball and then come up when you're ready to sitting, but we're not gonna sit. We're actually gonna flip over. Come into a child's pose, so hips right over your knees, and then send your hip stack all the way down to your toes. Pushing through your hands, extending your arms long in front of you. Reach, 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 reach. Ooh. We're gonna walk our hands to one side. So I'm gonna walk my hands to the left, and I'm gonna stack my right hand on top of my left. You can't see that, but I'm doing it. And then I'm gonna try to send my right hip back behind me. Can't actually do that kind of rotation, but it's to feel that stretch all the way through the side body. And I'm staying up elevated, but you can sink down. Whoa. Okay. And then we're gonna walk to the other side. Oh, good, she's playing. Oh, this side is so much tighter. So left hand on top of the right. Sink that hip back and down. Feel the stretch all the way through that side body, those obliques. And my lats a little bit, woo. Oh, I did some single arm rows this morning. That makes sense. All right, come back to center. We're gonna come up into tabletop, but just for a second. I made a bridge, so she has to go under it. Bring your right leg underneath you so you can come into a plank or a downward facing dog. Did you just bite me? Plank or downward facing dog. Send your right leg up and then to your knees, or your knee to your hand for pigeon. So you can stay elevated here in pigeon, or you can come sink down. You can't see, I'm sorry. Bring your foot as close to your hand as you can. It's okay if it's right underneath you. We're opening up the hip on the leg that's going back behind us with this pose, and also stretching out the glutes again. So it's a bit of a double whammy. Now you can sink all the way down. You can rest your head down on the ground if you would like. And then when you're ready, I'm actually gonna come into a downward facing dog this time. I'm gonna pick up, tuck the back toe, send the right leg up into this downward facing dog, and then switch to the left side. So then the left leg comes forward. Yeah, everything's tighter on this side. Hello? It's cooling off here in Seattle, so Coach Luna is very, very playful right now because it's cool enough for her to run around and play. We're just gonna hold this for a second. Beautiful. All right, send that back up into that downward facing dog. Hang out here for a second. Pedal out the feet by bending one knee after the other. Press and reach. And then hands to feet, feet to hands, just to come into sitting. And you can take it into a butterfly stretch here. Whew. Stretch out the adductors. They are stabilizer muscles, those are your inner thighs. So they do a lot with like balance. So they get tight a lot. So you can press down on one knee if you'd like, or just try to bring your feet as close to your body as possible. And then crisscross applesauce. Just give me an inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center.